Hey guys, it's me, Lizzie, and I am here for the third installment of mine and Maddie's Beauty School series. If this is the first video you're watching of our Beauty School series, I'm Lizzie. I'm a cosmetologist in Oklahoma, and Maddie is an esthetician in Texas, and we've been sharing our experiences with beauty school in this series. So if you want to check out her video, it'll be linked down below. And in this episode, we are talking about story times. Story times through beauty school, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you're interested in this video, please keep watching. One of the first story times I want to tell you about was one that instantly came to my mind when I was thinking of story times from beauty school. So, at my school, we would take clients and we would randomly get them unless they were requests, and I got a random lady one day and she wanted an eyebrow wax. And I really do and did like eyebrow waxes, so I was really pumped. So I went and greeted the lady at the front desk, and we took her back to the aesthetics room for me to wax her eyebrows. And I laid her down in the aesthetic bed, and I was like, okay, so how are you wanting your eyebrows done? Are you just wanting them cleaned up? Are you wanting them shaved? How are you wanting your eyebrows done? And this lady was like, okay, well, last time I got my eyebrows done here, I didn't like them. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, so I drew my eyebrows how I want them. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, she took a pencil, like an eyebrow pencil, right? I'm sitting behind her looking at her eyebrows, and I take a spoolie and I start combing through her eyebrows, and she goes, yeah, I drew them in with pen. This woman took a ballpoint pen and drew in her eyebrows. I was like, okay, that's weird. But okay, like you can use an eyebrow pencil or something, or like a shadow that was a little dark or something. I don't know. So then she tells me, and this line is like in the middle of her eyebrow, like if I just went right here and just went straight in the middle, that's where it was. And so then she tells me, I want everything above the line waxed. And I was like, are you sure? Like, we could just clean up the edges and make them nice and shaped. Are you sure you want me to wax above this line? And she's like, yeah, I just wax above the line. Just wax right there. And I was like, okay. Like, I was really hesitant. So I went a little bit above the line, not right at the line. And I just did a little strip first. And before we even started this, I handed her the mirror so we could look at the line together. So she had the mirror on her. Okay, she had a regular handheld mirror. I'm just going to use a Tarte highlighter to show you what she did. So I waxed just a little patch above the line, like not even to her line that she drew in her eyebrow. And so I waxed it, and I was like, okay, this is just a little bit, like, what do you think? And she goes, and I'm like, well, do you not like it? Like, what are you feeling? She's like, you wax too much. And I was like, actually, I didn't even go to the line that you drew in your eyebrows, that you told me to wax off. And I was being nice about it, like, because I gave her the option that I could just do what was best in my opinion, and then this is what she wanted. This is what she told me to do. And so she just kept on going, and I was like, do you want me to go get an instructor? And she's like, yes. So I was like, okay. And my instructors were so cool. Like, we would go and complain about whatever clients we had that day and who was crazy and had unrealistic expectations, and they were cool. They were on our side. So I go and tell our regular instructor, our regular cosmetology instructor, and I was like, okay, listen, this lady I have an eyebrow wax for drew in her eyebrows with ballpoint pen, told me to wax everything above it. I went a little bit further out than what she wanted, or no, that doesn't sound right. I didn't meet the line that she wanted. Like, I left more eyebrow than what would have happened. You know what I'm saying? And now she's mad. And I gave her the option that we shouldn't have done this. So my instructor's like, okay, awesome, a crazy lady. So, in passing, to go back to the aesthetics room, we passed the aesthetics teacher, and my instructor tells that one what had happened. And she's like, oh, I'll look at this in a second, because she was going to get something out of the microwave or something. So the instructor comes, and she's looking at it, and then this lady's like dishing me out, like, she didn't tell me all this stuff when I was doing her eyebrows, but she's like, she went too far, and she did this, and she did that, and I was like, girl, okay. So, I get the spoolie again, and I give it to my instructor, and we comb through her eyebrows. I was like, there's the line that she wanted me to wax above, and as you can see, there's still hair above that line. And Rhonda was like, yeah, I see that. And so the lady goes, so you're saying this is my fault? Like, she was so offended. And my instructor goes, yep. Like, what else were you expecting, lady? After that, the aesthetics instructor comes in, and this lady's still pissed off, and she's thinking that my aesthetics teacher is just going to save the day or something. My aesthetics teacher was a German lady, and she was very honest and blunt, and she's like, yeah, why'd you do that? Like, to the lady, she's like, why'd you draw in your eyebrows with a pin? And she was like, you told her to wax above the eyebrows? And that lady was like, yeah. And she's like, well, might as well just do the other one the same way then. And to be honest, they didn't look awful. They weren't the best eyebrows, but they weren't crazy. Like, the story's more crazy than what the eyebrows looked like. So the teachers left, and I was like, so we're just going to do the same way the other way? Or we're going to do it the same way on the other eyebrow? And she's like, I guess. Then I finished the eyebrows, and she's still like, and so I was like, whatever, man, like, F this noise. Because I think eyebrow waxes were like $5 at school, or like $7. So, like, you could just go somewhere else and get like a $10 eyebrow wax and it not be at a school. Not saying that, again, not saying that my eyebrow waxes were bad, but her expectations, though, they were insane. Then I was like, okay, I hope I never see this lady again. So she came in, and I had this friend that sat by me, and I noticed that this lady was at the school again. It was like a couple months later. And I go warn my friend. I was like, dude, she's crazy. Her expectations are unrealistic. And she was down for a haircut with my friend. And I was like, good luck. And my friend was like, yeah, whatever. It's just a haircut. Like, it's going to be fine. And that lady was there for like 2 hours getting like a basic haircut because she kept on doing that. And instructors coming over and trying to help her out. And yeah, after that appointment ended with my friend, she was like, oh my gosh, that lady is crazy. She's so stupid. Like, and I was like, I told you so. Then, I think it was like a week before I graduated, we had new girls on the floor. I noticed this lady was in there again. And I look on the book to see who she's with, and she's with one of the new girls. So I go warn this new girl. It's like, dude, this girl's crazy. This girl's crazy. Her expectations are ridiculous. She can never be happy. She's never going to be happy. I don't know why she keeps on coming back. She's never happy with any service she gets. And she's like, okay, whatever. because she was down for a formal style this time. And makeup, I believe. But I don't remember who did the makeup. I didn't talk to them about it. I don't even really know what kind of style she was wanting. I think it was like some type of updo. Oh my gosh, there's a car and they're like bumping their music so loud. It's ridiculous. Anyways, so again, this lady's here forever getting her hair done. The girl is trying really hard to like please her and do things, and that lady's again still like and stuff. So they get the instructor, and the instructor starts doing her hair, and she's like, "How about that?" And then the lady's like, "I still don't like it." And the instructor's like, "Well, we did everything we could for you. You're just gonna have to leave." Like, I don't know why they just didn't ban this lady, because nothing ever made her happy. Like, I don't know. And she wasn't the best looking woman out there. She looked like some old Mary Jane from Walmart, like, coming in. I don't know. Not dissing on her looks, but she should have not been that picky for how she presented herself. That's all I'm saying. So there was that story time. Another story time that came to mind was I was just out of basics. I was on the floor doing hair, and I had this lady, and I was doing like a shampoo set. I done washed her hair, and I was going to blow dry her. And my station was right by the basics room, and I was blow drying her, and I turned off the blow dryer to resection her hair or something. New basics student was opening the basics door, and they were screaming and cursing and just going at each other in there, and I was like, well, let me just turn this blow dryer back on, because that lady was like, oh, what is going on? And I was like, okay, you don't need to know this. And I was like, I'll just find out the details later after this lady leaves. Turns out it was these two girls. I guess they knew each other before beauty school, and they always had beef or something, and it was hair color week for them. And they were coloring one of these girls' hair. The girls that were bickering were doing like hair on each side of this girl. Then they started fighting about like someone was flinging color or something and was getting on her section. They just started full out fighting and cursing, and they had this girl's hair in their hands. It was a student, but it was crazy. I heard that after it all happened, and like, people are insane. Like, you couldn't have, like, let her hair down so y'all could fight or whatever, but we had a whole floor full of clients, too, and, one of the girls got kicked out of school that day, permanently, so that was the thing. I'm gonna go on a lighter note for story time. I had this client that I got, and it was the first time she had ever been to the school to get her hair done, and she wanted a shampoo set. She was in a wheelchair, and she had a aide with her that would help her. And he was a big old dude, and she was just a little frail old lady. And her name was Judy, and she was my favorite of all time. It was probably like the middle of my schooling when I got her as a client, and I had her till the very end when I graduated. And she was so cute and little. Her aide would put her in the shampoo bowl, and then she would always be worried about getting her ears wet, so I would get her some cotton or something, and we would set her all up, and I was the one that would shampoo her hair all the time. Like, she couldn't shampoo her hair on her own, so I was the one that always shampooed her hair, and it was always really satisfying, I guess, because her hair would build up, and it would really need a shampoo when it was time to shampoo. Anyways, after the shampoo, I would get her to the chair, and we would start blow drying her, and sometimes she would want the roller sets, and sometimes she'd want a curling iron. And I would just take my time, and we would chat, and she would always ask about Tyler, and she was just so sweet, and her aide was so funny. He would always, like, make fun of me and stuff, just teasing me. But shampoo sets were $5 at my school, and they would always tip me $15. And it was really nice because it helped with gas, It helped with me to get lunch that day. It was really awesome. And then when I graduated, the week before I graduated, that was going to be the last time I would see her. And I actually went and got her a card, and I gave her my number if she ever wanted to keep in touch. And she actually got me a card, and it had money in it, and she already tipped me that day. So, like, it was just the sweetest thing ever, and I really missed her. She never contacted me after school, and I graduated in 2014, so it kind of makes me sad, but I hope her the best and her aide the best. I don't know if she's still around or not, but she was really sweet. I really appreciated her during school. I also had another regular, and they would actually come on the same day, but she would come. There would be a bus that would come like every Thursday, and it was a whole bunch of nursing home people or assistant living, and her name was Mrs. Yates, and she was really sweet too, and she was super nice. She would tip me well too, and she was always so sweet, and she would like fall asleep during our appointment, and I don't really know what happened to her either. I got her a card too when I graduated, but I know she got cancer. She relapsed cancer towards the end of when I graduated, so I don't know about her either. But they were really sweet, and I appreciated them a lot. Here's another story time, which is pretty exciting. It was like the last week before I graduated, and I would go to the basics room when the basics students weren't in there, and I would study for my senior test. So I was in there just studying, and the evening instructor came in, and his name was Martin. He was really sweet and funny. But previously, we would always look up YouTube videos of Guy Tang and Rebecca Taylor and that blonde girl Mandy 101, or no, not 101, that blonde girl Mandy, and then Hair 101 with April. So we would always talk about them and watch their videos because they were really insightful and fun. So one day I was studying in the basics room, and Martin came in, and he was like, "I have a gift for you." And I was like, "Martin, you do not have to do that." So he gave me this magazine, but I still have it, and it's behind the chair, and it has celebrity colorist panel that Behind the Chair hosted, and it has Justin Anderson, Tracy Cunningham, Guy Tang, Kim Vo, Rick Wellman. I don't really know much about these other four, but Guy Tang is my favorite, and I love him. I just love him so much. Like, I love his personality. I feel like we would, like, if I ever had a hair appointment with him, I would just die. Like, I would die in the chair, and I would have great looking hair, and that's all I need. That's how I'm gonna go. I'll see you later, bye. But for real though, like, I idolized him in school, and I still pretty much do, even though I'm not actively doing hair. I just love what he creates. He is an artist for sure. Martin hands me this, and I was like, "Oh, Martin, how nice!" And it was such a nice gift, even though it's just like a small little gift, but I still have it, and it's still in good condition and stuff. But then he proceeds to tell me, I knew Guy Tang was from Oklahoma. I didn't know where he was from, but I knew he was from Oklahoma at that point. And Martin tells me, he's like, "Do you know where he went to school?" And I was like, "No, I don't know. I don't know where he's from in Oklahoma, but I know he's from Oklahoma." And he said, "Well, he lived in Tulsa." I was like, "Oh, cool." So I was thinking maybe he went to Paul Mitchell or Clary Sage or something. He goes, "He went to this beauty school." And I was like, "Boy, what? What are you talking about? Are you..." Are you joking me right now? Guy Tang, this man on this magazine, on this well-known magazine, went to this beauty school? This one I've been going to for a year? This one I'm going to graduate from, like, tomorrow? This man went to this school. And he was like, yeah. He's like, I asked Rhonda about it, and she was like, yeah, he went to school here, whatever. And I was like, Rhonda, how could she not tell me? Like, I was offended. So, around that time, I don't remember if she came in or we went and talked to her, but we were talking to her soon after that, and we were like, Rhonda, why didn't you tell us that Guy Tang graduated from here? She was like, oh, he did. And I was like, why don't you advertise this? Like, this school would be poppin' if you said Guy Tang graduated from here, just letting you know. And she was like, whatever. And then we were like, so what was he like? Spill the tea. Tell us all about him. And she was like, well, he sat at this station. And I was like, oh, I sit close to that station. Guy Tang stood there. What? And then she said that he was always booked up with highlights, like, throughout his whole days, pretty much going to school there. And I'm like, how awesome. That is so fun. Like, I don't know, that was probably the cherry on top of my school experience, because now I can always say I graduated the same school that Guy Tang graduated. He's way more awesome than I am, but I'm just name dropping there. But yeah, that's one of my favorite stories from school for sure. And I'm going to keep this forever and tell my children about it, and they won't even care because they won't know who it is. Story that I like to remember. I was telling one of my friends in school I was really bummed out because the next day was my birthday and I had to go to school. But they're like, oh, it's no fun. But when I came to school, I had my friends like threw me a little party, and they got me a cake, and it was like a chocolate cake, but it had like cheesecake chunks on top of it, and they got me flowers, and they wrote on the whiteboard, happy birthday to Lizzie, and one of my friends gave me a hairspray, and it was a nice hairspray. That was a good hairspray, man, let me tell you. And we just celebrated for me, and it was fun, and I really liked it because that was like a pretty much like a surprise party. I've never had anyone like do something so nice for me, like so nice. I loved it. I really can't think of any other exciting story times from school. After I film this video, I'll probably be like, oh, I remember this time and this time, but other than all that, I didn't have much drama in my school experience. Like, I was there for a purpose. I was just getting my stuff done so I could get licensed. At the end of the day, that's all I was hoping for. So if you like this video, please thumbs it up. If you want to see more of the beauty school series, subscribe. And if you want to see the aesthetics part in Texas, links are down below for Maddie's channel, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.